Hello, good people. So I'm back with another group of people that I owe a debt of love. So around 10 years, my mom got married. Yes, it's with thank God. So my dad. I remember, of course, when my mom introduced my dad, and I was so used to just being the two of us, I asked her whether now that means I have to share her love with my dad. And she explained to me very, very calmly that the love she has for me is different from what she has for my dad. This time, I think I was around 10 years, yes. And so she assured me that I have her 100% and dad will have his 100%. So we didn't have conflict. We didn't compete for attention. And my mom settled it from the word go. So my dad came and took us in, took me in, because of course he loved mom and mini discount, but he accepted me totally. I don't even remember that I don't have his blood. I don't even think my siblings are aware that we don't share the same father, because he took up the role of a father from the word go, paying school fees, doing anything that dad was supposed to do. He has done it all my life from that day on till today. He has been the father and the grandfather to my kid, who is so present, who is so wholesome, who is so available, who has given his 100% to me, and I'm so grateful to that. So I remember despite knowing that he is now new and we would not compete with love, I was still wary the first years of how to bond and to interact with his side of the family and friends. And so I remember one of those things that a seal of love was when we went to his family. I think it was an occasion and there were family and friends, and so he was holding my hands and we were walking with him, and so we met a group, a group of his friends, and he introduced me as his daughter, and that shocked me. Like, sijui what I wanted him to say, but I did not expect that he has accepted me that much and would actually introduce me as his daughter. And so you would see the look on his friends, like, your daughter, she's 10 years, what do you mean? We've never seen her. And also, I think still the same occasion, I overheard those friends, that you talk behind someone's back. So they went to ask a sister to my dad, huyo ni mtoto wa nani venye ametuambia? And the sister was very confident, like, that's his firstborn. And you'd see the shock in their eyes. And I think from them, probably what would make sense was, labda I was my dad's kid, but alikuwa amenikataa or alikuwa amenificha for that 10 years or something. But my dad never gave room for anyone to question him or to question me. His family was so gracious. My aunties and uncles, they accepted me as a niece, and nobody asked questions about my past, where I come from, how you people are. Nobody has ever asked me today. Even my cousins, you'd imagine now that kids at that young age, 10, some were younger than me, they would want to ask, kwa nini hatukuwa tunakuona kitambo, umetoka wapi? But nobody ever asked me. Like, from the moment I was introduced to them, everyone took up their role to just cover me and to just welcome me and to just move on as part of their family. Like, we're so integrated, not even one day or a moment that I have thought I'm not part of them. Like, they have shown me love that I would not know how to repay throughout my life, throughout education, in social events, my wedding, my rurasho. Whenever I have a need, I can go to them, and there's no second thought to them helping me, or them being for me. They have celebrated my achievements like it's their own. Like, I'm totally grateful to God. I am so grateful to God that he gave me such wonderful people. And so for my dad, since he came to my life, he's also played a role. One of the things I'm grateful for is the fact that he's always provided for me. Always. I do not have a day I asked him for something and he said no. No. Him, I remember he's the one who has celebrated most of my achievements. Sometimes I feel like he celebrates them more than even my mom does. Like when I did well in school, you'd see the excitement and the pride he has in his eyes when he would tell his friends about me and how I performed well in school. After graduation, like my graduation bash, Gioni was, you'd think he's the one who has graduated, but he has totally celebrated me. And I'm so grateful to God for such kind of acceptance and such kind of love. He's also the one who introduced me to politics. I think until now I still love politics, because I remember he told me, his exact word were, when mama anapika nataka uone news, then when I come you'll narrate to me how news was. So from my young age, I was not in the kitchen per se a lot. Mi nikuwa mtu wa kuona news. And by the time dad anafika kwa how, like that was my greatest joy. Anaketi, namwambia how news went from, start to the end. I remember I knew all the ministers, assistant ministers, iyo siku. I knew which president is visiting the country, who did what in the political scene. Like, we celebrated news. Ungetupata tukiongea, in my class 6-7, ungetupata tukidiscuss politics, you'd think we are two mature people, but he made me love politics, and he listened to me. Like, my opinion in politics, however narrow it was, he made it look like it made sense, or it counts for something. So he's the one who introduced me to politics. Also introduced me to football. I remember tukuwa tunapenda Manchester, because I'm no longer a fan of football. I think sikupata mtu wa kuendeleza, but the days I was home, ilikuwa tu, kama kuna futa, tutaketi hapo mimi na yeye tuone. This before my siblings grew up. So at least now I have a brother, so he took over to it. But there's a time I actually loved football to an extent of, nikiwa campus, I would bet money on a team. Yes, sijui ilienda wapi, but I'm grateful to God for a dad. And I'm yes, he's one of my blessings, and I feel very privileged to even bear his name. I know they are schooled with many children, friends from single parents, and they had a struggle with bearing the name of the new father, or they didn't have a smooth transition. So for me, having a smooth transition and him being so present, I feel so privileged. Yes, and so I didn't even have a problem changing my name to carry his name. I'm grateful he came early when I didn't have a lot of documents to add his name. Yeah, so I'm totally proud to carry his name. He's an amazing guy. I'm proud to name my kid after him. Like, he's the dad. He's, the perfect dad that God had for me. And I'm grateful for him coming into that role and playing it so well. So I'm just overwhelmed this month as I celebrate my birthday and counting my blessings. Like, seems like everyone who I've interacted with in life has just played their role so well, so beautifully. They have overperformed, and I'm so grateful to have them and to celebrate life. Yes, I celebrate me, but there is no me without all the other people who have been in it. It has totally taken a village for me to be where I am, and so I'm totally grateful to God. So thank you, God. I'll live for you too.